enemy is not pleased. Continued failure will result in your decommission.
Shh, it's the film flavors.
Hey guys, I'm Chris.
Hey everybody, I'm Robert.
And we're the Film Flamers, bringing you a extra steaming hot take, not a dump.
We don't give hot dumps around here. Sometimes we do.
Not in the Nook anyway.
No, we save that for outside Nook. That's an outside Nook activity.
Yeah, but we were able to get into an early showing of Predator Badlands, and we have been excited about this one since we got our grubby little hands or eyes on Prey, which was Dan Trachtenberg's first foray into this universe. He somehow pitched for Prey and got it and blew everyone away. Sadly, it never got a theatrical release, although I've heard that it's going to make the rounds in some select theaters if it's not already.
Yep.
And I'd love to see that on the big screen.
Agreed.
But then he was able to do two more based on just like the vibes of that one, I guess. And they gave him Killer of Killers. They let him do a full animated movie, which was kind of a segue into this, Predator Badlands. But all of them are completely independent. You don't have to see any of them.
They're all very independent, but there's a lot of like connective tissue between them as well, which
and Alien Earth and everything and all the other Predator movies. So I love that there's connective tissue between all of these, but not necessarily like they're not MCUing themselves with like Samuel L. Jackson didn't come to the end of this, or Sigourney didn't come to the end of this and be like, you're part of a larger universe. Yeah,
which is always a fear these days, since the MCU has done that sort of thing now on to 2 decades. I was really excited, as you said, to see this movie just based on the trailer that came out earlier this year. I thought it looked really cool.
Yep.
And I think that we were all expecting a certain kind of Predator movie, maybe just told from a different angle. And I feel like we did not get the Predator movie that I was expecting to get.
No?
Tonight when we watched it. No. But I'm happy about that. I thought that doing something different, still in kind of the same vein, turned out to be a really good risk that paid off in full for this.
What did you expect, I guess?
I don't know. I guess I was just expecting the same old kind of storyline, we all know that the Predator at this point has to go and sort of prove itself. And so I thought that we were just going to watch a Predator go and try to kill something that's hard to kill. And then
you thought it was going to be very straightforward.
Yeah. And then we'd all just go home and be like, well, that was a good, Predator movie.
Yeah. I expected at least what we got with Prey, where there's going to be some sort of story, proving yourself and all that. Now there's a little bit more of a twist on it with this movie, almost an inversion, but not quite. It's still very much the same kind of themes, right? Of Prey. It's just kind of inverted just with the characterization between, right? He's being preyed upon by everything that's living on this planet. And literally everything on this planet can kill you, as we found out within the first 30 seconds of landing on it. It's insane how much things on this planet can kill you.
And it really does a really good job of world building in this particular movie too. I'm glad that we're in an environment that we don't know as viewers, that we haven't seen before. And, we're sort of learning all this along with our sort of Predator hero,
One thing Dan Trachtenberg is good at is, I think, writing as well as visual storytelling, right? Because he had to get a lot of exposition out of the way with, just like he did before, not in his native language, but also with at least just one character kind of just expositing at us, giving us all this exposition, which is really hard to write and make it sound natural. But between his writing and Elle Fanning, who does an excellent job in this film.
Oh my God.
In more than one role.
Yeah. So, I love the sisters Fanning, period, both of them. But Elle Fanning is just amazing in this, and I know that there may be some of you listeners who don't know what this movie's about, really. And at least you have to know from all the buzz and things they learned at Comic-Con and whatnot that like Chris said earlier, there's an interconnection of universes here with Predator and Alien. And this is not the first time that these universes have crossed paths.
No, and it won't be the last.
No. However, typically when they cross paths, they're not the best films, right? AVP and AVP, are not.
And this is not really a crossover of those. We don't see.
Nope.
Spoiler alert: there is no xenomorph. So if you're going to see like a secret AVP film, this is not it.
Nope.
There are plenty of aliens, but they're not the aliens. Capital A.
And
there are things that are deadlier, I would say.
Oh, very much. And but
Hulu's really trying hard. Hulu, Disney, really trying hard to create things that are actually more dangerous than the xenomorph in its own franchise.
Well, and they have to do that sometimes too. They have to create new things, and I think between like Alien Earth, which, go check out our 2 hot takes on that. And with this movie, they're really doing a good job with both the Predator universe and the Alien universe. Disney has just really taken some of these Fox properties and just done really good things with them, I feel. But I mean, the stuff that we get in this is all Weyland-Yutani stuff, which I think is very, very interesting too. I love seeing things about the company because at the end of the day, corporations are bad.
Yeah, and it's that same theme. So they definitely brought in the Alien franchise into this in a big way with the whole corporate thing with Weyland-Yutani and Mother, and even the androids being and treating each other as if they are expendable, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's just like peak, like the snake eating its own tail type of situation,
Well, I've always wondered why, in a whole universe of things, especially when we're in like Predator and Alien universe combo, why Weyland-Yutani wouldn't have gone after that race of being. You know what I mean? At least for their weaponry or science or something, they may not be looking for, perfect organisms or whatever, like the xenomorph, but there's things that they could use this for. I don't know. It's kind of something that's missing in this universe, is if everyone has the ability to travel through space and whatnot, why aren't people talking to other creatures?
Yeah, they are though, and it's funny because we know that the future in the Alien universe is just completely corporatized. Mm-hmm. So no information is a discovery anymore. Yep. Nothing gets disseminated. Nothing makes it to the history books because it's all corporate information. It's all super secret corporate bullshit, right? And so it's like no one knows about this stuff, and like all of the other companies on Earth probably don't know about this planet. Weyland-Yutani does. Yeah. We know that Weyland-Yutani from Alien Earth was trying actively to bring bioweapons. It's a bioweapon division, right? But we knew that from Aliens too, bioweapons division. Mm-hmm. So they're actively going out there constantly and trying to find an edge or a bioweapon edge. So there's really like interesting to bring that into it. And I think that really does bring an interest into the Predator franchise as well, is to bring that aspect of it, not just the aliens, but there's this whole other aspect to the Alien franchise, with the whole corporatism and all that stuff that was able to be like wrapped in here. And it showed that it makes the Predator universe richer for it, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. And also it gives me a lot of faith. And I already had faith in Dan Trachtenberg just based on, Prey and then Killer of Killers. But this movie gives me just like sheer amounts of joy and faith in him and whatever he's going to do next involving the Predator.
Yeah. And I know that like he's been skirting around Disney with all of this Alien and Predator stuff, right? And I think like, I don't know, they like Fede Alvarez has said he's not doing the sequel. He's going to produce for Romulus. Yep. Could be interesting if Dan Trachtenberg comes in. This movie proves that he can do an MCU movie or he can do a Star Wars movie. This was almost a Disneyfication or Marvelification. Not really Marvelification. I want to say Star Warsification, almost a Mandalorian version of Predator, right? And it kind of has to be. There's no other way around it. If you're going to make the Predator a highly technological person going on planets with lots of different aliens, and you're going to make him the hero, like it was always going to be that.
And I'm fine with that,
If it's good, it's good, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I think that some of the things that make this movie so enjoyable are those Mandalorian-esque aspects of it.
Yeah, although to be devil's advocate, I did want it to lean a little bit more into horror maybe like dial down the space Western aspect and dial up the horror a little bit. There's plenty of horror elements to this movie, but the vibe of it, I mean, I would say Prey is more of a horror movie than this.
I would completely agree with you because I was just thinking, based on, what I rated this movie initially and thinking about its placement at the end of the year when it comes to top 10s and beyond, I was just like, ooh, like, is it a horror movie though?
Yeah. I had to think about that as well, but it was like I put Killer of Killers on and I put Prey on, and it was like in honor of those and the franchise and a lot of the visuals that we get in here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good for kids for sure. I mean, there's a lot of decapitations and nasty shit that goes on in this, and there's a lot of robot violence that's very, like if it had been people, this would have been maybe rated X.
It's that if though.
There's a lot of waving appendages around and smiling at people. Like our heroes are Pennywise.
They are. But this movie is rated PG-13.
How?
I know, because they're not killing people.
I didn't realize. I thought it was at least R.
Nope. So they have created a movie, in fact, that anyone could go see without a guardian. And they've added enough aspects in this to make it enjoyable for lots of different kind of people while still retaining some of the horror like structure in it. Yeah. And I feel like this movie could make a gobbledy-gillion dollars.
It probably will. It's like that everyone tries to do like the 4 quadrant or whatever it is, and it's like, is it appealing to all of these 4 different types of demographics? And I think it's like at least 3 of 4.
Yeah.
And so people are kind of split and letterboxed, although it's gotten pretty good on Rotten Tomatoes. So it'll be interesting to see. I think people are really interested. I think Prey had some legs, and everyone's aware that it did not have a theatrical release. And so they're almost like rooting for like the dark horse in this movie a little bit, even though it's a major franchise with a major studio.
Yeah. I mean, like it can make a lot of money just for those particular reasons. But again, I'm rooting for Dan Trachtenberg in this. Like, I really feel like he deserves this really big theatrical release, and I want people to go see it just for that reason alone. But
yeah, and I want him to be able to continue this franchise, but I kind of don't want him to go into the MCU or Star Wars. Like, maybe if he could actually save Star Wars from whatever the fuck it is now, but maybe do his own stuff. Like, I want to see what he can do without a franchise. Like, I've never seen him do like between like all the things, literally everything that he's done that's in the public eye, as far as I know, between the Portal short film that he did and Prey and Killer of Killers and Predator Badlands, he has never done his own or created his own world or his own story.
Well, before he goes out,
obviously his own story, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, his original IP or whatever. And before he does that though, I think I want him to make a remake of Tremors. I think I've decided that that's what I want him to do. I don't know why.
I don't know. I think Irwan Elle might have been relegated to that now.
Give it to Dan. Come on. Like, I laughed out loud in this movie. I wasn't expecting that. Like, I found myself rooting for things that I wasn't expecting to root for.
I know, like halfway through, I was like, Robert's going to hate this. It's just like these Muppety, like, I know that you don't like alien, like animated, like talky, simian mouth, animals, but there wasn't really. I mean, there wasn't the Predator.
Yeah. There is a little creature in this, and when it first shows up, I was just like,
me too.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no.
I was like, oh my God, is this going to be Jar Jar? And then Matt was like, oh, is this going to be their Grogu or whatever? And it's not really. Like, you just have to see it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Things coalesce and become very, very endearing.
It's cute, but like in a violent adult kind of way.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. It reminded me of my dog. Like, it has the same eyes as my dog and it makes the same noises. And I was just like, okay.
I like leaned over to Matt and I was just like, that's Ula, my cat. That's our little goblin cat.
See,
her love language is murder.
And if you find some commonality in these creatures with things that you have at home, you just have to love them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's just a really surprising, really good movie. And I left the theater more excited after it was over than I was going in to see it. And I was already very excited to see it.
People were clapping.
People were clapping. They were clapping at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I was like, that's cringe.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'm wondering if that's just because of the crowd of going to the preview, you know? But I clapping aside, not that, like, by the end I was like, that's not so cringe anymore because I almost clapped with them, you know? Yeah. And so I kind of want to say, like, whether you're a fan of this or not, or you're not looking forward to this, it is a good time at the theater.
Yeah.
It is a good popcorn flick. It's a spectacle.
Yeah.
Go see it on the biggest screen you can. And the sound is amazing. The music
was good.
is really unique and interesting. They turn like that Predator cloak sound effect. That's kind of that pulse, and they turn it into music, essentially into the themes. And it's kind of interwoven with almost that longing theme from Prey or whatever. That's kind of like, one of the epics, like Last of the Mohicans or something, But the visuals, the countryside, the landscapes are really good. And he does the old Ridley Scott thing and has the camera linger on the landscapes from time to time, which I'm like, thank you.
Well, and there's some callbacks in this to other films, and
but not in an annoying, cloying way.
Yeah.
The closest thing would have been, well, I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, no spoilers, but I was waiting for a particular line, and I was just like,
yes,
swear to God, if
like, don't do
say
it, don't do it,
don't you dare!
I know, because they did it in Romulus, and I about threw up in my seat when he's like, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
Yeah.
And I was like, there's even a more close version of that in this film where they set it up. Like even they do like the pan, the zoom in, and I'm like, don't do it.
I was ready to take it down half a fucking star.
Yep. That there's going to be like an outtake where she just had to say it.
Yeah. And that's fine. Keep it an outtake.
Yep.
I know I never have to watch this, but I don't know. I feel like I want to see this movie again. And I want to see it again in the theater kind of thing. Yeah. So I feel like that speaks.
I want to be a little closer to the screen this time though, I think. And maybe not see it in a meat locker.
I don't, it's so cold. I don't.
And then they turn the lights on 20 minutes before the end. That pissed me off.
I just don't like the theater.
No, we had to go see it at the big theater because that's where the things happen.
And we don't normally see things in the IMAX, so I don't anyway.
No.
So
and it's not really an IMAX. It's just an IMAX seating, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't see the difference. But with all that being said, sir, what did you rate Predator Badlands?
I ran it through scans and I didn't expect it to be this good, but like I went through like a story plot, writing, and I wrote it good.
Yeah.
But things like, acting, I put good. Elle Fanning's amazing, but there's only 2 actors in this whole movie, basically.
Yeah.
And then the cinematography, I had to say great.
Yeah, it was so good.
Music and sound effects, great. Like top tier. I didn't say it was special. Or important.
Yeah, it's not really that important.
But basically everything that I ran it through was either good or great. And that led to a 4.5 rating. So it's like my number 5 on the top 10 horror film list of the year so far.
I did not run it through scans only because I walked out of that theater knowing what I was going to rate it, and I enjoyed it so much that I gave it 5 stars.
Oh, 5 stars.
I don't know. I just really enjoyed the fuck out of this movie, and I thought it was so good. And like, there are parts of this movie that are so different from things that I, normally wouldn't gravitate toward. And I was just like, but it's good and it works. And
yeah, like you've got to like make a dive though at some point. Cause I was like, am I really going to feel empathy for this thing? This like fucking flapping mandibles, like this whole movie. And like, I remember like I read an article earlier today with Dan Trachtenberg where he went to James Cameron and he was like, I'm doing this movie. There's a lot of overlap with some stuff that you've done. If you remember our anecdote about James Cameron, someone had called him about Predator, right? And he said, oh, you should do something with mandibles. And so they ended up doing that and essentially using James Cameron's like drawing to do the Predator, right? And so a lot of overlap. And so he went there and James Cameron was like, this is a great thing. You're going to do great. This is going to work totally. And then he made the movie and then showed James Cameron afterwards. And James Cameron was like, oh my God, it actually worked. He's like, I didn't think it would work. I just told you because I knew that's what you needed to hear.
Oh,
And so I was like, yeah, he made it work. And it was just like super confident. It's like, I'm going to bet that people will just like let it go within the first 5-10 minutes, the flapping mandibles, and they're going to like slowly just get on board with this character. And he doesn't force feed you to you. It's slow build through the further movie. But by the fucking end of this movie, you're like balls deep in this story for all of these characters. And you're really rooting for them.
Yeah, I want to go see it again.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up this hot take on Predator Badlands. And of course, we want to know if you go catch it this weekend and let us know what you think about this movie and our conversation about it. Find us on social media at The Film Flamers on Facebook, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, on Threads.
You can email us, entirequeens@filmflamers.com, or Call our hotline
at 972
666
7733. Flap your mandibles in my face.
Slap me harder with those spiny tentacles. I don't know.
Everything was kind of phallic on it.
Everything was phallic, yeah. Did you see like the big landscape? Like if it revealed the first one, there was this giant fucking monster on a mountain in the background. Like I was like, this is cool.
There's so much to fucking look at and still so much to explore on that world.
Yeah.
I would imagine. But this is just the first of the content we have coming out for you this month. We are talking about depictions of Satan.
That's right. We're going to be covering Constantine. But earlier than that, I think we're going to be covering
the prophecy. Well, Chris,
we're going to walk in, not run. And watch that movie.
Well, I don't even know what I'm going to say now.
End it.
Have some sweet dreams, everyone.
Walking. Running, don't walking to go see this movie.
These boots are made for walking.
God damn it.